Hi, welcome to Behind the Lens with KJD Photography. I'm Karl Daniels. So I'm going to be going through the process on how I shoot some red wine with just a one light setup. So literally we'll be taking two shots of this. One to actually highlight the label, one to actually give us the beautiful rim light that we're going to create on the bottle. So, a couple of the things that I do is actually use a blackout card. Literally it's a piece of cardboard. I've just got black duct tape stuck over this one. You can normally paint them straight black. This will actually sit behind the bottle, and the actual size of the flag or the blockout card is around about 10 millimeters either side of the bottle and also over the top. Then that will help us get that beautiful rim light around the bottle. Here we've got the big softbox behind the diffuser. Basically the diffusion panel in front just helps to break that light, give a nicer gradient, not so harsh, and just helps to spread it more. So the lighting we're going to be using on this shoot, we'll only use one light. So we're going to light the bottle for the rim light, and we're going to light the label, the second shot, as I mentioned earlier. And literally we'll just in Photoshop just highlight that label. Unless you have almost like a projection unit where you can focus and put a very unique piece of light in just on the label, then if you've got that, then you can use that and do it in one shot. Okay, so the lighting. So we're going to be using the Godox 400 Pro. I have a couple of these in studio. Also have the 300s. But these are awesome lights. You can get these from Godox SA. If you go to godox.co.za. Great thing about these, you can use them on battery or on AC power. Great, affordable, and very awesome lights to use. Okay, so another thing I do for the shot is I will set up some flags, just some poly boards, literally white one side, black on the other side. Just set them up in front of the product, one either side. Just enough so the camera can shoot the product through there. Okay. The reason I just put these up is to stop any lens flare or any light that you don't want coming back into the camera lens. When I do the label, we just reverse the boards round so the light bounces back into the bottle, gives us a nice label light. It will have reflection on the bottle, but we won't be using that. As you can see behind the scrim, we have a large softbox. I think this is a 1 meter by 900. Here's our Godox 400 Pro sitting behind there, and literally the scrim is just on a C-stand. Okay, so that's what we got behind, and then obviously you can play around with the light adjustment on how you want. So as you can see, we have the bottle in between the two poly boards. What I often do is just take a dud shot, so meaning literally that there's no ambient light coming in, so that is black, especially when we're shooting video with other video lights in. We just want to make sure there's no light spillage on the product itself. On our Godox trigger, you can see that I've just got the one light B set up 1/8 power, and let's get that in focus. So it's 1/8 power. That is the backlight that is currently on the back side of the scrim. and take a shot. So literally that is shot number 1. So next what I do is leave everything in the same position. I'm just going to turn these boards around, creating the same shoot through effect. So it literally bounces. So what this does is just bounces the light back onto the bottle. So we won't use the whole image, we're just going to use the actual label, which will just put a bit of a kiss of light onto the actual first image. So then that gives us a bit of life in the bottle on the label. So what we got here. So what we got here, we got the image which is lit up, ugly reflections, and then we've got our nice rim light bottle, which will then just bring in that label. So I'm just going to adjust the contrast, some blacks, just minor tweaks, I mean nothing too hectic. I might adjust the levels later on when I open both images in Photoshop. Which are, let's see, I think that should be about it. I should have selected both images, but it's fine. I'll just change that quickly. Texture on the label. Okay, so I think we can just open both of those in Photoshop. As you can see, I used ISO 50, I was shooting at f10 and 1/60 of a second on this shot. Okay, so this is the highlighted image, which is loaded. And then we have our beautiful rim light around our bottle. So what we need to do is actually obviously paint out all this white and make sure that is. So I'm just going to put the other bottle in, just so we can just get the layer. Right, so then I'm just going to take my brush. We're just going to paint in black. Remember, we must take our hardness up so our brush doesn't bleed into the image itself. And then I must just take the film transparent, the fill back to 100% on this one. We just paint around, and this is why the importance of that black cutout card behind is so that you can now just quickly paint in and not worry about the edges of the bottles. I'm probably just going to speed up this process, so we're going to paint in both images. Very quick and easy way of shooting a wine bottle, so there wasn't too much fixing and processing on the actual to get the final product. Okay, so we just bring that layer visible again, and then what we're going to do is just create a layer mask and hide it. So literally we just have our rim lit bottle. Now what we do is we take the brush, we're going to take down the opacity of the actual brush. This can be whatever you actually really feel like doing, and normally what I do is make the brush the same width as the bottle, and don't forget to take off the hardness, because if you leave the hardness on, your bottle is going to be looking quite funny. So take your hardness right the way down, then increase your it's around, well, mine's around about 1200 pixels roughly on that. And then make sure you actually select your layer mask and not the mask that is currently selected, because then you're going to just be painting over your actual image. So it's important to make sure you select that mask. If you do, just undo, select your actual layer mask. Make sure you've got the white selected on your brush, and then just paint in your label. And as I said, this is to feel how you would want to actually show your label. I mean, you can have it a little bit more brighter, you can have it dimmer. So literally take your opacity up a little bit more, just to make it come through a bit brighter if you want. So yeah, so it gives you that sort of wine bottle look there that you see. So I mean, it's really to your liking. That doesn't look too bad. So yeah, I think with all that done, let's just see what else we can do there. So I mean, you can just play around with highlighting that label, but I think you've got the gist of it. And yeah, I'll be interested to hear what your comments are. How else would you do this? Remember, this is a one light setup. What I'll do is I'll put a list of the items that I used in the shoot down below in the description. Also with links to the lighting and stuff I used. So there will be links to godox.co.za for the 8400s, the lights. And yeah, that's about it, guys. So interested to hear what you have to say. Drop us a comment, subscribe to our channel, and keep shooting.